Star Wars? Yes! Me too, me too. Do you like Boba Fett? Yes! Yes, yes!
Alright, today we review Return of the Jedi, thus finishing my reviews of the original Star Wars trilogy with the grand conclusion of the Skywalker saga, because it ended here. But what about no? Leave my headcanon alone. And before we go any further, I will warn you now that there will be spoilers in this review for many of the same reasons as why my review of Empire Strikes Back had spoilers. Most people have already seen it, and my review can be more thorough if I'm allowed to talk spoilers. So, you've been warned. Also, go watch this movie. As I hinted to in my review of Empire Strikes Back, I really do like this movie a lot. Most Star Wars fans agree that Empire is the best movie in the series. Although I'd say Return of the Jedi gives it a run for its money, but we'll get to that later. So, do I really think that Return of the Jedi is better than Empire? No, it isn't. Despite my high regard for this movie being an excellent third act to the Star Wars trilogy, it does admittedly have some flaws, which drops it down to my second favorite overall. One such flaw is the dialogue, something I've praised the previous two Star Wars films for. While there's nothing particularly awful about it, we're not at I don't like sand levels of word poop yet, the dialogue in this movie is rather exposition heavy, something I really began to notice after watching Chris Stuckman's review. There's a lot more telling instead of showing in this movie, which gets even worse in the special edition. As someone who only watches the original theatrical version, I will forever refuse to believe that Darth Vader said no in that famous scene where he turns against the Emperor. George, it was fine the way it was. Why did you have to add that? But here I am talking about the end of the film at the beginning of the review, so let's rewind a bit. Harrison Ford, of course, did decide to come back as Han Solo, so the movie begins with Leia, Lando, the droid Stooges, and Chewie infiltrating Jabba the Hutt's palace on Tatooine in an attempt to free Han from his carbonite prison. This fails at first. Chewie is in prison, and Leia is made to wear a sexy slave outfit, which in hindsight might have been a little degrading to her character, but teenage me didn't care too much about that because, well, let's just say that there have been generations of male Star Wars fans that have, at this point, appreciated Slave Leia. Respectfully, of course. Soon enough, Luke arrives to finish out the master escape plan. Yeah, everyone else arriving early and getting captured, all part of the plan. Luke's the one who is going to really get them out. And I have to mention Luke's costume design too. Here he's wearing all black, which I think is a really cool visual representation of his character development. In episode 4, to begin his character arc, he wore white. In episode 5, he wore gray, as he had begun to mature a little more, and now in episode 6, he wears black, thus symbolizing his transformation from nobody country bumpkin moist boy to the wise, brooding Jedi Master. Luke, of course, does free his friends in memorable fashion over the Sarlacc pit, where Boba Fett dies in the most ridiculous manner possible. Yeah, I know, technically he didn't die, but I didn't know that for the first 20-ish years of my life, so that headcanon is stuck with me. Either way, it was a pretty lame way to defeat such a cool villain. And after all that, most of our heroes return with their rebel friends, while Luke returns to Yoda, who reveals that Leia is Luke's sister, and then immediately dies. Wait, what? What? Yeah, that just kinda happened, I guess. We had a big familial reveal in the last movie, so I guess we gotta have one here too, to try and step up the ante, you know? Gee, if they're gonna drop big reveals like that, I'd hate to imagine what a Star Wars gender reveal party would look like.
It's a girl.
Let's go!
But we can't dwell on that disturbing information too long because, guess what? There's another Death Star. Because the last one worked out so smoothly. Man, that is a lot of Imperial tax dollars. Whew. However, this Death Star is still just a baby. It's totally not operational yet, wink wink. But it is guarded by a shield generator on the forest moon of Endor, so the rebels have to launch a two-pronged attack. A small ground team will take out the shield generator, then the rebel fleet will come in and blow the giant ball. And this is when we meet the oh-so-cuddly, oh-so-controversial Ewoks. And here might be my boldest, most cancelable Star Wars take ever. I actually like the Ewoks. Yeah, I know, they were only included for the kids, but I watched this as a kid, so what do you want me to do about it? A lot of people say they just can't believe that Ewoks could take on the Empire, but listen, Ewoks are badasses, okay? They'll fuck your shit up. It may look like they shouldn't be able to inflict damage on armored stormtroopers, but I'll bet you that this is actually all just visually misleading and that they're really jacked underneath all that floof. Point is, don't underestimate the teddy bears. Anyway, after Luke reveals to Leia that they're siblings, which she takes remarkably well, all things considered, he turns himself in so he can face his father, something that he just kinda has to do in order to fulfill his destiny and complete his journey to becoming a Jedi, and just to excise some personal demons, I would think, which sets up the grand tri-theater finale. Han, Leia, Chewie, and the droids on Endor, Lando, Admiral Akbar, and this guy outside the Death Star, and Luke alone confronting Vader and the Emperor within the Death Star, the very belly of the beast. And it's this final 3-scene sequence that's why I love this movie so much. Not only are the physical battles taking place on the ground and in space thrilling, but the emotional battles are as well. As the Emperor taunts Luke, trying to bring him over to the dark side, while Luke is trying to do the opposite with his father. Altogether, this is the great crescendo of the whole trilogy. Everything has led up to this point, and it all plays out so wonderfully. Despite all of the flaws that this movie had earlier on, this part of the movie is the one that sticks with me the most, and it's the satisfaction of an epic conclusion why, despite its flaws, I rank this as my second favorite Star Wars film. I'm giving Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi an E for excellent, and Ewoks rule. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please show it by hitting the like button. Also, subscribe to this channel if you're new and help me get to my goal of 420 subscribers. And until next time, may the Force be with you, and good night.